Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this simple halter neck dress with side gathers. It's a very easy tutorial, no pattern needed. We are going to be drafting everything directly on the fashion fabric. This video has been simplified so that the beginner can easily understand it and remake this. So if you're interested, let's get right into it. So we start off by folding our fashion fabric into two. Make sure the fold is enough for quarter of your hip measurement, and we are going to be drafting only the front pattern for now. So you mark the length of your dress. Mine is 38 inches. So I mark from the starting line my armhole 7.5, my waist is 16 inches, then my waist to hip is 8 inches, and then the hem of the dress. So we have our starting line, our armhole, our waistline, and our hip line. These are the 4 lines that you're seeing right now. So on the armhole line, you're going to mark your bust divided by 4. On your waistline, you're going to mark your waist divided by 4. On your hip line, you're going to mark your hip divided by 4. I am using a stretchy fabric, so I did not add any allowance on the side. Okay, so on the hemline, mark exactly the same as that of the hip line. Okay, so connect these points together. So on the shoulder line, you're going to mark your shoulder divided by 2 minus ½ inches because it's a sleeveless or a halter neck, and then connect it to form your armhole just like you see me doing. I came in by 3.2 inches for the neck width of the front, and then the neck depth I came in by 5.5 inches. If you want something like that of the thumbnail, if you want to show a little bit of your breast, you can come as low as 2 inches below the chest line, and you are going to be able to show a little bit of cleavage if you want, but I didn't, so I just came down from the starting line to just 5.5. So I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So on the armhole line, I came in by 1 inch for that halter effect, and then I curve it back into the armhole line. Very simple, very easy. So we are going to be extending the sleeve to form that halter neck that goes around the neck. Make sure you slant your line. Make sure it is parallel to the other armhole. Okay, so I went up by 3.5 inches. Make sure this sleeve line is parallel to each other. Okay, very simple, very easy. If you follow this, you're going to have a very flat and then well laid neckline. So after that, we're going to come down by 3 inches. You can also do 3.5 inches from the waistline, and that is where we are going to drop our waist. And then from the center front, I came in by 3.5 inches. That is where we'll be joining our gathers to. I hope you understand. So connect the 3-inch mark below the waistline to that of the 3.5 inch, and then curve it like so. After that, we are going to go ahead and cut out our pattern. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Don't also forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. So we are cutting out the front panel just like you see me do. Then we are going to be using the same panel to cut out our back panel. So please watch what I'm doing. You're going to flip the neckline of the front panel to that of the chest line, and you're going to cut exactly the same, only that it will not have the neckline. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. Just watch what I'm doing. Because our back doesn't have any sleeve, so you only mark that of the chest line or the bust line for the back, no sleeve, no neckline, nothing else. So I have my two panels ready. So we have our front and we have our back panels. So when you flip it, this is what we have for the front. You see the halter neck effect. This is what will be going over our neck. And then for the back, what I like to do is I like to reduce the chest line of the back by 1 inch for a stretchy material, and then by ½ inch if it's a non-stretchy material. It helps your back to lay flat without any gaping when you wear your dress. So always make sure you reduce it by ½ inch. So I've gone ahead to do that, and then I'm going to place the front side of each panel facing each other, and I'm going to be sewing the sides with ½ inch sewing allowance. Remember, I did not add any allowance to it because it's a stretchy material. But if you are using a non-stretchy material, don't forget to add your sewing allowance. So I've gone ahead to do that, and then when you flip it over, this is what we have. So now we are going to be cutting out the side gathers. You don't need any pattern to do slash and spread. This is what you do. You just place a folded fabric, just as you see me doing, with about 10 inches extension from that of the panel, and you're going to trace just like you see me do. Just trace it out, add extra 10 inches. You can even go as high as 15, 20 depending on the amount of fabric you have. Remember, this side is on fold, and you're going to cut it out. Very simple, very easy. So we're going to be cutting 2 pieces for this. That is what we are going to be using to create our gathers on the side. I hope you understand. Make sure you notch the center for both. So what we are going to be doing right now is at the hip line, we are going to be notching. We are going to create a notch as where we would let our gathers end, or our gathers is going to end. We are going to notch for both the panel and then that of the gathers, or the side that we are going to be gathering. And you're going to sew a loose stitch from one notch end to the other for both of them. So I've gone ahead to do that, and you're going to gather from one notch end to the other. So I created 2 loose stitches, and then I'll just gather them. If you've made it this far, thank you for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Comment if you have any question. This will help my channel to reach far. So after gathering the 2 pieces, what you're going to do is, remember, we notched the center of the side where we'll be attaching to the main dress or the bodice or something, whatever you want to call it. So the center of that folded piece to that of the center of the curve area, right? So you're going to spread the gathers along that edge from one notch point of the dress to the other. So just watch what I'm doing. You're going to line it up like that, and you're going to sew with ½ inch sewing allowance. So I've gone ahead to sew with ½ inch sewing allowance for both sides, the left and then the right, and this is what we have. You see, very easy, very simple, very simple. So what you're going to do is, you see that loose stitches you created to create the gathers, you're going to take them out to release tension from that gathers. It's now time for you to work on your neckline. It depends if you want to use a facing or a bias. So I decided to cut a bias and then use it to clean or finish off the neckline for both the front and then the back. So I've gone ahead to create a bias, and then that is what I use to create or clean up the finishing of the neckline for both the front and then the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to place front side facing each other for both the halter of the left and then that of the right, and you're going to stitch with 1/2 inches sewing allowance. I hem the dress with a hemming gum, and this is the final look of the dress. Very simple, very easy tutorial. You don't need no pattern paper. Beginners, please don't forget to try this out. See you next time in my next video.